fields grow anew with the spring of life. In this sheath of truth will I wrap myself tight. The landscape it goes for miles. The myths of old, they breathe in me life.
Hello, I have a question for you. So you talk about Akhenaten and his lies about what happened in Egypt. I guess that's the story that's been passed down. But I want to know the true story of Meritaten and what really happened in Egypt, as opposed to the lie that they spread about how he was some kind of savior. I want more details about that. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Some more of your excellent questions. We'll get to them one by one. And again, if I miss out some, it's because either I've answered those before, will be answering them in the process of other questions, or again, my expertise, just doesn't pertain. The video question didn't leave your name, but you're talking about the interesting question of the Nephilim. Oh, excuse me, not the Nephilim, Meritaten, Nefertiti, Akhenaten, and co. Well, you got to head over to read The Irish Origins of Civilization. We go into that very deeply. You can also check out my Irish Origins of Civilization program. That's on unslaved.com. You'll also find another program that's connected to that called Occult History of Ireland. That deals with the presence of the Atenists as well. My work is slightly different than other people. I'm one of only maybe 2 people in the world that write on Akhenaten in the negative, not genuflecting to him as if he was the Christ before the Christ and some sort of messianic spiritual leader, upholder of light and all that other palaver. So that could be a bit of a shocker, that I do that. And also I basically have the Atenists, Akhenaten's descendants, as the chief crime lords of our world. And that later elites, I maintain, are either ideologically or biologically connected to them, you see. So there's that thesis as well. And that's why just, so many Egyptian symbols are turning up. A lot of these Egyptian symbols are often misinterpreted, like those on the dollar bill. But once we start to get a handle on who Atenists are, which I do in the books, this is a life work. You understand as well. So you can't just sort of skim the internet and find this out. This is going to unlock a lot of mysteries in our world, and it takes time. People who read my works, realize that they have to take the time and dig deep. The connections between Ireland and Egypt, for instance, are deeply explored. The identity of the Israelites is explored. Works of other people from the 19th century and before, I synthesize and condense, along with 20th century authors. The Hyksos, the Shepherd Kings, all of this. Moses, the identity of Moses plays a big role in this. And you'll find chronologies of the various pharaohs, so it's a great compendium to learn about Egypt if you've wanted a crash course in learning about that subject. The different dynasties and what went on, and some of the key dynasties. You'll also find a lot of stuff on the Druids, of course, because that's the main thrust of the matter. Talking about the ancient Arya, who suffered at the hands of the descendants of the Atenists, a major genocide in world history that's sort of been relegated almost to a footnote in most history books. So you find a lot of stuff on the Druids there, and many other subjects. As they go over to Enslaved, watch the programs, they're free. Go over to the Irish Origins website, it's jam-packed, it's updated constantly. There's lots of miscellaneous information there that would make another book in itself, of almost a volume 3, which I have resisted doing. Just wanted to be up there for people. Freely available on the website, so go ahead and make use of that. And again, thanks for your great question. Hope you enjoy the work I've put together for you on that subject. Patricia, You're talking about the power, the special gifts that the elite have, these special capacities and qualities. I agree with you, I think they do have it. But to me it's not important. Evil is evil. So even if they were 100 foot tall, armor-clad, sword-wielding hybrids or something, some sort of robots, you'd still have to get out there and do what you can do, right? Even if these are dragons, you still need to get your bow and arrow out and do something about it. So as far as I'm concerned, they can have all sorts of qualities and abilities. And there's no doubt in my mind that they do have these qualities and abilities, but evil must be countered and evil must be punished, you see, come what may. And we've got to try and overcome this pestilence in whatever way we can. It's just, in my opinion, there's just no two ways about it. And I think that with knowledge of the enemy, we can achieve a great deal. There's the initials. The question is regarding whether I believe in reincarnation. Well, I've studied it. Certainly connects to what some Druids schools were meant to have been teaching, and whether reincarnation is the same thing as what they were teaching, which is known as the transmigration of souls. One can debate. Me, myself, I'm not sure. I'm still studying it. I think it's a possibility, but I'm not authority, but I will send you in the direction of Anthony Peake, very, very key writer of the modern age. Just saying in another section here about the kind of books that we're lucky enough to have. Be sure to read all of Anthony's work, especially his book, The Daemon. Watch his videos on YouTube. Absorb what this man is saying. I don't agree with everything, of course, but these are minor points. The thrust of his work, I think, is crucial. So he speaks so wisely on these subjects. He has another book called The Immortal Mind, which I highly recommend. On your question regarding astrology, absolutely. Astrology ties in with medical issues, medical problems. I deal with that on my mystery school. In my Path of the Fool book, we've got every card has a section regarding the medical maladies, and there's all sorts of applications that one can use. Even specifically, you can even just draw cards, and the cards represent physical ailments, psychological ailments, and all the rest of it. So hugely important to be using astrology and tarot in regards one's medical condition and one's health on all levels. JG, you got a question there. Yeah, you're asking about science and the concepts of virtual realities. I'm not a believer in any of that, so I really won't comment. I don't think that we're living inside some sort of virtual reality or artificial hologram or any kind of 3D projection. I think our reality around us is very real. That's why it's called reality. And I'll lay the case. I've done a bit of work recently on the Shelling Zone website. You can go over there or pick up the Disciples in the Mysterium book, which goes into this matter very, very deeply. Where I lay out the case that why I think that those theories don't hold any water. So check that out when you have the time. Thanks for the question.